Navia is one of those characters that has 110% taken me by surprise. The very first time I'd seen any images of her character model, I was like, okay, she looks cool, but she's a Geo character, you know. Geo is a very outdated element. It doesn't have a lot going for it unless you do something with Crystallize. There really isn't much you can do with it. And then she came out, and she came out with that insane set. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there's that wonderful Geo set that is literally designed specifically for her, and it just makes her so incredibly fun and strong. And I've been playing her for the last couple of weeks now. She's not built properly at all, but she is honestly one of the most fun characters I've played in recent memory. There's just something about her gameplay mechanics that are just so incredibly fun to do, and she enables such interesting team compositions, and even gives me, for the first time ever, to enable a Ningguang team to actually have some precedence. Because I was currently building something to do with Ningguang, and it wasn't very good, and then Navia came out, and it was the perfect excuse to actually use Ningguang in the team. And honestly, I've been loving Navia ever since she first came out. Now, as far as my Navia goes, she is not strong at all. As you can tell, attack is only 1800, max HP is 13k, which is pretty low, but I mean, it's not that big a deal. Crit rate is surprisingly high, but that's because of she's got on a crit helmet and the serpent spine, and crit damage is very low. Geo damage cup for obvious reasons, but she is far from being done. Like, her sword obviously is done because I've had the serpent spine forever. Her artifacts are abysmal because I'm currently still trying to find the best ones for her. As you can see, they're not great. They're doing for the time being. She's C0, and I've only leveled up everything once because I need to go and farm these things, and I don't want to because you can't make me. I refuse. But even with almost zero investment in currently, other than her level, she is incredibly strong. Allow me to find something to shoot and demonstrate. This is kind of harsh, but it will, you know, it'll do the trick. So there's 15k completely on our own. Now we got a few crystals. That was 16k, no crit, which is unfortunate. And that was 26k with only one shell in the chamber, shall we say. So with already very little investment, she is doing easy 15 to 30k with no effort whatsoever. And yeah, these are just, you know, your average enemies. But even in Spiral Abyss, she's bringing out these numbers with very little effort. But her damage numbers aren't the only thing that impressed me about her. It's just the overall gameplay that she provides that I find so enjoyable. So obviously you have her Q, which is where she just, you know, showers the field with Geo cannonballs. And, you know, you'll have characters providing other elemental instances, like you got Xiangling, or you got Bennett, or you got Kaya, or whoever you've got in your team providing some kind of elemental resonance, creating all of those crystallize, and then you just suck them up with your gun, and then you just let off a massive explosion. Honestly, in terms of gameplay, Navia is just one of my favorite characters in recent memory. I know I've already said that, but I wanted to labor the point that she is just that much fun. You're seeing this video because I think the banner ends in about 5 days upon the release of this video, I believe. I would heavily recommend pulling for Navia if you've got the chance, because she is just incredibly fun to play. She's super easy to build for. Crit rate, crit damage, you're pretty much done. The new artifact set for her is great, even when it isn't fully stacked out, as you could have seen from mine. There's something that's not even been leveled, there's something at level 4, there's something at level 8, you got a Geo Cup at level 20, and then I think there might have been someone else at level 20, I can't remember. All of which didn't have particularly great stats. Unfortunately, the Serpent Spine is, you know, it is a paid weapon, it is through the Battle Pass, there's not much that can be avoided there, but there are other weapons out there. For instance, if you wanted crit damage, you could always go for the Black Cliff set, or there is the, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, the one that provides crit rate instead. But yeah, she's very easy to build for. You don't necessarily need the Serpent Spine, although it definitely does help. Obviously, her 5-star weapon is also very, very good, but unfortunately not the easiest thing to pull for. But yeah, just her mechanics of sucking up crystallized shells, turning them into 1 of 6 bullets, shall we say, and thus increasing her damage multiple fold is very, very satisfying. It's very satisfying to do, and not to mention, if you manage to land all 11 of her shard shots, 200% of the original amount of damage is dealt. That's a lot of extra damage. Navia is just stacking damage left, right, and center. If you want a little bit of extra damage, you can pop on Ningguang, pop down a Jade screen, go for it, and now you have a plus, I think it's 15% geo damage bonus. There's a lot of really good options for Navia that makes her really fun to play, and honestly, it's one of, I've already said it twice, but she is just one of the most fun characters I've played in the game in quite some time, which is great because they've somehow done the impossible. They've made a Geo character actually worth playing, which is honestly surprising because I didn't think they'd be able to do that again without doing something major to their element of Geo in the first place. Now, thankfully, a big part of that is down to the fact that the new set is just very good for Navia in general, but her mechanics that revolve around crystallized shards really, really implement and contain just how strong she can be, even with little investment. Doing a 6 crystallized shot is still very damaging regardless of how poorly your Navia is built, for example mine. So yeah, anyone that doesn't already own Navia, I would do yourself a favor and give her a go. I will say the one thing that may put some people off is that she is a Claymore user. I am under the assumption that not a lot of people like Claymores in this game just because they are the slowest weapon type in the game. I'm one of those weirdos that actually has Claymore as my favorite weapon class, which is probably why I like the character so much more. But yeah, it's mainly the mechanics of pick up crystallized shards or suck up crystallized shards while you hold E and then shoot people in the face and deal a ton of damage while you're doing it with almost very little effort in between those things. Very satisfying to play, very damaging, and just really, really fun. And that's about it, really. Anyway, I think that's all I really have to say on Navia. I don't think there's much more to touch on. She should still be in the banner for a few more days. I would recommend getting her if she looks fun to you. She is a lot of fun, I promise you that. But obviously, don't take my word for it. Give a character trial a go. If you really, really don't like the character, don't force yourself. It's all about enjoyment here. There's no point forcing a character you don't like just because they're good. There are easier characters to play that deal more damage that you could go for instead if you don't like the playstyle, and hey, you might like them more. I mean, look at Neuvillette. Neuvillette is very easy to play, very damaging, but again, another character people could say is quite dull to play. Anyway, with that, I will say my goodbyes. Thank you for those that stuck around to the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments below how you feel about Navia, because I would love to know what everyone else's perspective is on the character themselves. With that though, I must say my goodbyes. I've been James, the Mayor of Jamestown, and until next time, goodbye.